Now, all the stories you've seen so far touched on social inclusion. Now, this is related to today's special edition of Ghana Connect. The focus is to push for input into the national budget. Stakeholders will discuss where the money in the budget should go. We will push for allocation of resources to impact lives. Areas such as infrastructure, healthcare, water, education, social services will all be discussed. Join the conversation on all the platforms from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And Kojo Yankson, my colleague, is here to explain to us what to expect and who can connect. Kojo?
Bernice.
Really timely, isn't it? Tell us the motivation behind this special edition of Ghana Connect.
We're only a couple of months away from the next budget reading, and the idea of the budget is that the government is telling us how they are going to share the national cake. The concern is that as the gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, many more people feel excluded from the budget. They feel like the national cake does not have their share included. And so today we want to start a conversation in anticipation of the budget so that we can start to figure out together what government ought to prioritize in order to close that gap. Now, it will surprise you to know that the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, which is one of the ministries that can best close this gap between the privileged and the underprivileged through social protection interventions. They had their budget cut by 77% between 2017 and 2018. So in 2017, they had 255.4 million Ghana cedis. In 2018, they were allocated only 61,380,000 cedis. That's less than how much they spent on, for example, the new IT system for SNIT. So you can well imagine that for an entire ministry, an entire sector of our society to be funded only by 61 million Ghana cedis, it goes to show that it has been the priority has been lowered in the minds of government. So many more people end up being left behind. So we want to have a conversation about how government can refocus its priorities to ensure that we include more, so that we won't see examples like the woman who had to be ferried across a river with a motorbike when she was pregnant, resulted in the death at the end of it. So we don't see more of those. Rather, we see the most remote parts of the country seeing their share of infrastructure and development, education and social protection.
Interesting. And Kojo, as always, the structure of Ghana Connect is to have panelists and to also have people share their thoughts, and that's why it is Ghana Connect. And we have Dr. Kojo Mensah Abrampa. He's senior technical advisor at the Ministry of Planning. He's going to be a panelist or a member of the panel. Dr. Eric Osei-Asibe, an economist, I beg your pardon, at the University of Ghana. Franklin Kujo, President, Imani Africa. Florence Eyisi-Korte, Acting Director, Department of Children, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection will be our guests. But could you let's talk about how we can connect? Because definitely this has to do with a lot of ordinary, and I use ordinary carefully, ordinary citizens who in the long run will be affected by the budget, who may want to have a say. How do we have a say?
First of all, we'll have a live audience. That's what's unique about this edition of Ghana Connect. So we'll have lots of people from across different sectors of society represented. They'll be there and able to ask questions, but also social media will be our friend on the night. So we'll be connecting via WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll be reading out people's opinions, thoughts, questions, even sharing videos wherever possible, so that everyone, wherever you are, however you're consuming it, because it will be live on the JoyNews channel as well as on Joy FM, however you're consuming it, you will be a part of the conversation. If we're talking about how to include, then we most certainly have to make sure that our format of communication is inclusive as well.
Finally, Kojo, I know that the expectation is that we would have the inputs shared, considered when the budget is being drawn or being read. As an ordinary person, How would you convince me that my input will really get to the people who need to hear it?
Well, we've seen it happen before, haven't we? Every time that people get angry enough about something, government responds. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that the Finance Ministry was invited to this event and they declined to attend. So it is now up to the people, those who will communicate today and those who will start conversations following the end of Ghana Connect today, to spark the conversation that will catch the attention of government. So they understand that they can't go ahead with their plans without thinking of those who are consistently excluded in their planning for the budget.
That's enough reason to make a date with us today at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for this special edition of Ghana Connect. And if you cannot make it to the Swiss Spirit Lisa Hotel, you can join us on all our social media platforms. I'm talking about radio, TV, online, all our social media pages, and tune in as well and make sure that your input is heard. You're watching News Desk with me, Benis Abubedu. There's more shortly.